Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode. It is episode 10. This is the last episode that I can count on both of my hands. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe it really has been 10 weeks though. Time is moving quickly. This past week was a bit of a roller coaster. And the numbers just simply don't lie. It was a more productive, better week than it was last week. We are making progress, but even still, the future is still uncertain. Before we get into it, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're just lurking my videos and not subscribing, why? What's this all about? Be better. Anyway, Monday, we had a bit of a late start, like we typically do on Mondays, and actually breaking the fourth wall right now, I'm also having a late start on Monday. Not because I've not been productive, but that's just kind of how it happens. I gotta do this video, I have to run errands. I've actually been pretty solid today. I'm definitely gonna hit up the bike later, probably not running today. Yes, went out in the evening. It was a really nice 22-mile bike ride. It's pretty customary for me at this point. It takes me around an hour and a half, give or take a few minutes, and that's fine. I get a lot of time to spin, think about a lot of things. This is absolutely 1,000,000% my favorite place to be on the trail anywhere. I should come out here more often, but man, it's like when you're on foot, it takes so long. I'm at almost 9 miles right now, so I'd have to be going pretty far. Here's the moon. Kind of cool. Just like these wide fields. I feel like I'm in the, you know, that desktop photo on Windows with like the big grass field and whatnot? This is basically it. This is like just gorgeous. One of these days I'm gonna come out here and explore this more. I don't know if it's like private property, but there's no signs that I can see here. Anyway, let's head home. We're just over 40 minutes in. I don't think we're gonna beat the dark. I am really glad that I went out there today. That was a really nice ride. Exactly 90 minutes, 22 miles. Oh yeah, I came up with an idea that I am absolutely not going to disclose now, and definitely not for a while, because it's just an idea for now and I have to think on it. It would be in the spring, and it's kind of insane. I think it might be a little bold for me. The evenings kind of suck during the summer because it is gnat heaven. You're just getting kamikazed with hail, aka bugs, the entire time. Fortunately, I wear my glasses, so I have like protection, but they can kind of sting, I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, another thing, my legs, I don't know what it's been this week. I don't know if it's a combination of a million things or just biking in general, but my thighs and just overall energy level has been pretty depleted. I've been having a hard time getting up at a reasonable hour. I've been sleeping a lot. Hopefully this passes. I don't know what's going on. Later that evening, did a little meditation, laid on the Shakti mat. It was nice. I will say though, it actually does bring me tremendous amounts of joy that I am sore, because in the past I've kind of avoided biking because I never really felt like I was getting a lot out of it. And yeah, I wasn't going on long bike rides like I am now. I probably ride like 8 miles at a time, nothing crazy. Now it is showing, and that means that I'm doing something right. That means I'm putting in the work. Tuesday we got back out there. This time we gave running another shot, just praying to the gods, please let this week be better. Took out the Glycerin Max for that one. Just 5 miles. I'm not trying to push it. Even if I was feeling great, I had no intention of going further. And I was pleasantly surprised. It went very well. The pace was nice and quick. I felt like, actually just for pretty much every run this week, I feel like there was just this calm sort of start. And then towards the end, I would pick it up. Call it frustration. It probably was just all this pent-up anger, and I just got it out of my system. Well, so far so good. We're a quarter mile in, and at this point in my run the other day, my Achilles was already bothering me, so don't feel it yet. Fingers crossed. Let's go! 1 mile in, no pain, no discomfort, no nothing. And also, that was a little fast, so let's slow down. We're a little excited. We've earned that right. We've earned the right to be excited. 2.5 miles. Still going strong. I will say though, I feel extremely out of shape right now. I'm not even like trying to be dramatic, but it feels so awkward to run again. My legs have forgotten how to move. Just a short run. That was the plan anyway. Don't want to overdo it. Don't want to push it. I feel like I'm just releasing all this pent-up frustration from the last few weeks right now. I am walking up this hill in much better spirits than I was. I don't know, when did I go out? Sometime last week. And it was just a total failure, 4 miles. No pain. Definitely feel incredibly out of shape. The first few weeks when I start training from nothing, you know, I have trouble with my lungs, they just burn, you know, asthmatic and all that. But then you get through it after just a few days. It only takes like 2 weeks or so for me to get through it. Looks like I'm gonna have to go through it again. I just let loose on the last few miles. Felt really nice. Hopefully this keeps up for the future, but this week, no matter what, I'm definitely gonna take it easy on the running front. Can I get a motherfucking yeet in the comments? Those little girls behind me are just making fun of me right now, but nothing can bring me down right now. They keep calling me ma'am. It's ma'am. And then after that run, I hopped on the bike and went for another 18 miles just to, once again, get more cardio in, because really, the reality of this is, if I'm going to do the Columbus Marathon, it's sort of, we're getting into crunch time right now, and things are not looking great at the moment, volume-wise. Even intensity-wise. I have not gotten, like, any workouts in. That's even more worrisome, in my opinion. Oh, hey. You seriously thought I was done? For real? Do I come off as a guy who takes shortcuts in life? I can't even keep a straight face saying that, okay. Yes, we are going to head out for a bike ride now. It is 7:27, so just like yesterday, we've got about an hour until sundown. And also, those little girls were relentless, and I don't get it. That one girl knows that I'm her neighbor, and it's only a matter of time, because this isn't the first time that they've done this. It's only a matter of time before I tell her her haircut sucks. Let's get going. I was definitely feeling more sore today than I did yesterday. Groins, just everything lower body was sore and exhausted. And also, I don't think this is really important, but I did make a note of it, so I'll say it anyway. After that bike ride, I just felt weird for the rest of the evening. I tried to sit down and eat some food. I wasn't hungry at all. I had to like force myself to eat like half a bowl of ground beef and rice and avocado, and I could barely get it down. I wasn't like sick, I just didn't want it. And also like my head, I just didn't feel uplifted. I felt sort of depressed for whatever reason, but then I went to sleep, woke up feeling normal again. So I don't know what that was, but you would think all of the dopamine rushing to my head over those past few hours would do something. Apparently not. On Wednesday, as planned, no running. Decided to get back on the bike again. This time I went 21 miles, so about the same as Monday. And I gotta say, this was the most miserable I had been on the bike in the past few weeks. I just was not into it. I was bored. I was just tired, like I've been talking about. It was really one of those go through the motions sort of days, but I did it anyway. I got through it, and later I went and lifted. That went really well too. I've been getting more and more consistent with my lifting. I'd like to get back to like 2, maybe even 3 days a week, depending on how my volume is going elsewhere. Keep on maintaining injury prevention, stuff like that. I don't need to be a meathead and trying to ego lift. Not that I'd be able to anyway. It wouldn't be impressive even if I tried to put up big weight. The standard squats, bench press, well, I use the dumbbells, but you get the idea, rows, and then some other stuff in between. And also, later that evening, I went through my full stretch routine, and I'm going to admit to you guys now, this was not my best week of stretching. In fact, that was the only day of the week that I went through my full 45-minute to an hour routine. It took me about an hour this time, so I did lean into it that night, but really, for the most part, even light stretching was very lackluster. Not good. I need to be better, and I know that. Thursday rolls around, got back running, took out the ASICS Gel Nimbus 27s, and yes, just to reiterate, did not feel very good in the fact that I was just exhausted. I'm getting progressively more and more exhausted, but the strange thing is my legs have been moving really well, very fluid. Like running sub 7, like any like 640, 630s, it feels pretty natural, which is great. Also, to counter that, my heart rate has been extremely high. No matter what I do, I mean, it's pretty normal for me this week to hit 180 beats per minute, which is kind of scary. I don't like it being that high, especially just on runs, like normal runs. The fact that I feel good, generally speaking, during it, I'll let it slide. It definitely does not help with my recovery. It takes me longer to recover the higher my heart rate gets. You guys know how that goes. Bit of a late start this morning, but it's Thursday, and we're doing our second experiment of the week. We're going to go out and try and run a bit further than 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. I don't know. Let's just get to the first mile first. I'm not going to lie. They are still doing road work. Actually, they have ramped up the road work in our neighborhood, and it's starting to really get on my nerves. At first I was like, yeah, they're just doing their job, but now, no. Dude, they've been doing this since February, and they're not getting anything done, it feels like. I wonder if it's just one of those things now that I just have to run on for a couple days in a row, and it'll just go away. I don't know, running injuries are always really weird. Just turned at 3.5 miles. We're gonna do 7 this morning. And honestly, no issues. This is great. And I gotta say, these baby snakes are literally everywhere. I'm like trying to dodge and weave so I don't step on them. A lot of them got run over though, it's pretty sad. It's like Normandy out here. Okay, let's go. Big dubs in the chat. That went very well, once again. And I also, for whatever reason, decided, hey, I'm gonna push it the last 3 or 4 miles. It was kind of difficult, especially on the uphills, getting into the neighborhood, but I kind of needed that. Because all of this is going down, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Why do I feel this way, Zach? This is kind of strange. Normally I have a little bit more energy. I feel motivated, but why am I so tired? I'm also looking into my diet more and adding more protein. So normally for years I've just had 3 eggs at a time. I don't like doing more than that. It's kind of gross to me. My body just doesn't want 4 eggs. Now I'm eating 4 eggs at a time. Just little things like that. Just sprinkling in protein. A lot of it. More than I've ever eaten before. I just had a nice fat steak before this that I cooked up. On Friday, I went out for 6 miles with the Asics Nova Blast 4s. I forgot I had this shoe. I don't remember the last time I wore it, but they're still in good shape. They've got some miles left in on them. This was just a standard run. I ran back-to-back days for the first time in a couple weeks, I think, and I did have a bit of a scare. Okay, you guys aren't going to believe this. We're coming up on 10 minutes here, 1.3 miles. I just rolled my bad ankle really bad off a curb. It doesn't hurt, but when I rolled it running single track a couple weeks ago, it didn't hurt initially either. So now I'm conflicted. I'm also really pissed off because it's probably going to be felt tomorrow or a couple days from now. Well, I guess I might as well keep going. Holy shit. What am I doing? All in all, that run went a lot better than I thought it would, especially after that rough start. Like I have most days, I've sort of felt my ankle for the first quarter mile. Not like discomfort this week, just I can tell something's going on, right? And I don't like it. But then I keep going and it seems to go away completely. Not good that I rolled my ankle. Hopefully it doesn't flare up in the coming days. And of course, I actually tacked on an extra mile because I just felt like running. I would have gone longer, but just gotta chill. Saturday, I did no cardio, no bike, no run. I feel like I should have, I'll be honest. I think it was a little bit more me just being a sack of shit and letting time get away from me. I did feel bad about it before I headed to work that morning. I did 10 sets of 10 push-ups, if that accounts for anything. It's hard for me to do, but yeah, it was just a little bit. And then at work, I was on the pull-up and chin-up bar, 60 reps throughout just a couple hours shift. I wasn't there all day, so that was something. I'm still a little bit sore from it, so that's good. And then later in the evening, just enjoyed myself, hung out with some friends. We watched the Steeler game. We did a little bit of swimming. I definitely ate like shit, which was not good. And actually, I've been making it a point to cut out sugar recently. I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely saying no to a lot more now. I'm trying to get back on that train. It's very difficult for me. Okay, and to finish off the week, we're now at Sunday. And Sunday, in my opinion, was the most successful day of our week. Definitely, like I talked about earlier, this week's been a bit of a roller coaster. Sunday was no different. I had a plan like, all right, let's try and get a long run in. 12, that was the number that was in my head. So we set off. And immediately, about a quarter mile to a half mile in, I noticed some discomfort for the first time this week. Before, it had just been stuff like, yeah, I can tell there was some strain going on there, but not painful. This was slightly painful. I'm talking like a 1.5, maybe a 2 on the pain scale. I kept going. Eventually it went away, which was really nice, and it turned out to be a really interesting run. We're 1 mile into our, hopefully, Sunday long run right now. This is another experiment. It's easing up now, but about a quarter mile ago, my Achilles started bothering me, like a little uncomfortable, which is not good. The most uncomfortable it's been all week, so kind of worrisome. We'll keep going a little bit further and see if it eases up. Talked to Katie from NovaCare, a PT, and she told me as long as it doesn't hit like a 3 or a 4 on a scale of 10, I should be able to keep going. I'd say I'm at about a 2. Just had a little bit of a competitive moment. My ego was challenged there. I did not like that. I heard this guy coming up on me, and I'm like, all right. And then I realized they were getting closer, and I'm like, shit. So I started picking it up a little bit, but not to the point where I was like in pain. I was actually quite comfortable. Dropped down to like 6:30, 6:20, and then I just heard them getting closer, and I'm like, all right, they're probably doing a workout or something. And then I got past. It looked like it was just some college guy. He had a pit hat on. But what pissed me off, he definitely was just trying to pass me because he kept looking back at me. And it was so obvious. And I was so upset. I'm not gonna go with him. Don't wanna make it weird, but yeah, I could have dropped his fucking ass. He was going like 6 flat. Now, is it a coincidence that he happened to turn around maybe 200 meters after he passed me? Maybe. But I don't think it was. I think he wanted that. I think he went a little bit extra today. And I also think he was holding his breath when he passed me. He looked way too calm. And I know that feeling because I do it to people too. I'm at 6 miles and I've been feeling well pretty much ever since 1.5. So I don't know if this is the right move. I really don't. I feel like it is. I'm more inclined to lean towards, all right, let's get a longer run in today. Let's try and start putting more mileage in again. And also the fact of the matter is I need to start getting longer runs in if I'm going to race a marathon in October. I just need to. It doesn't have to be pretty, but I gotta do it. And 12 seems to be the number today. That was the plan when I walked out the door, and right now I feel like it's going pretty well. You know, as much as I hated that, I also kind of liked it because it's been a long time since I've been challenged like that on the trail. That was a challenge. That guy wanted some. What's up, buddy? What's up, Crash? Oh my God. I swear it went up 20 degrees in the back half of that one. But that's how you finish off the week there. It wasn't pretty, 30-mile week, but I am so happy with that, man. That started off a bit of a train wreck. I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna have another mile in me. And we turned it into something really good, really solid. So after my little, call it a temper tantrum, because I sort of had a temper tantrum about that guy passing me. I did a 5-mile tempo on the way back. The paces were pretty solid. I mean, honestly, very smooth. The only issue that I had was just the heat. It was just picking up and it was making it more and more difficult to keep my heart rate down, which I didn't like. I was ranging anywhere from 5:59 down to like 5:42, 43, something like that. It just came out of nowhere, so I was very happy with that. I was not anticipating doing that, above all. But anyway, that was our week. I think I forgot to mention we wore the Brooks Glycerin 22s for that, so no Speedy special shoe for that. 30 miles ran this week. It's a big up from last week where we did 4. And then our mileage on the bike came down a little bit, which is fine. I think we did 61 miles. Very, very solid. This week is still a bit of a unknown how it's going to go down. I will admit my Achilles was a little raw last night, which worried me. It's feeling okay right now. Definitely tight. Certainly not 100%. I don't know what the right move to make is here, but that's what this series is all about. Just figuring it out together. And with that being said, if you enjoyed, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. I love your faces. Peace out.